today we're going to start with some TikTok videos. So satisfying watching those little spots come out, huh? It's like nothing more satisfying than watching a pore strip video. Look at all of that gunk come out. It really is fun and relaxing to watch. Alright, so what are these black dots, and do you also have them on your nose? Are you also using these pore strips or try to squeeze out gunk out of your nose? Well, these are actually called sebaceous filaments, and they are not blackheads. Sebaceous filaments is a term that we've been hearing a lot of on social media with these pore strip videos and random other videos where people squeeze gunk out of their nose. So welcome back to my channel. My name is Dr. Swati Kannan, and I am a board certified dermatologist out here in California. So what are sebaceous filaments? Well, we have pores, which are basically openings of hair follicles on the surface of the skin. Each little hair follicle is attached to an oil gland, and this oil gland makes oil that we refer to as sebum. Sebaceous filaments are little structures that allow the oil to come up to the surface of the skin. These are normal structures, and oil production is also very normal. But when you have too much oil production, then the sebaceous filaments can get filled up, and it makes your pores look a lot larger than they really are. So when people actually squeeze their nose and see these warm, like white or yellow stringy things come out, those are the filaments. I don't actually recommend squeezing your nose and trying to push all that stuff out, because the filaments are just going to get filled up and you might lead to some discoloration, or squeezing might lead to some discoloration or scarring. So just don't squeeze or pick at anything on your nose in general. They do look like blackheads, but blackheads are really different. Blackheads are a form of acne, and it's basically a plug on top of that pore. That plug then doesn't allow any oil to come out, which then leads to inflammation and then eventually acne. So who tends to get sebaceous filaments? Well, like I said, they are normal structures, so we all technically have them. But people who have larger pores or oilier skin, you tend to see more of sebaceous filaments in that type of skin type. But don't be sad about having oily skin. Oily skin means that you will actually look a lot younger than somebody like me who has dry skin. So there are pros to having oilier skin. And so how do we get rid of sebaceous filaments? We can't technically get rid of them, but we can take steps to minimize the appearance of pores, to decrease your oil production so that you tend to have less of these sebaceous filaments. Now, I am not against pore strips like once in a while. If you use it once, every 2 weeks or once a month, I think that's okay. But the goal is to get you on a skincare regimen where you don't even have to use these pore strips. By the way, I think sometimes people think that when you have these sebaceous filaments, it's because you have dirty skin, and that's not technically true. But if you do have clogged pores, and if you are not washing your face properly, it can make your sebaceous filaments or the appearance of these pores look a lot worse. So what are some ingredients that might help? I like ingredients that help to refine pores, that help to decrease oil production, and that kind of can cut through the sebum or the oil to help exfoliate a little bit. The main ingredient that I really like is retinoid, and then the other ingredients include salicylic acid, benzoyl peroxide, niacinamide, and of course, sunscreen. So my favorite out of this list, like I said, is retinoid. And that's because retinoids do a lot of these things. They help with decreasing oil production. They also help to regulate your pore size. And it helps with blackheads because, let's face it, a lot of us not only have blackheads, but we also have sebaceous filaments. So the two can kind of run together. If you want to learn how to use a retinoid, then check out my YouTube video. It's one of my first YouTube videos on how to start a retinoid. And it will really help you to implement a retinoid in your skincare regimen. You can use a lot of these ingredients together, so you don't have to just use a retinoid, but you can start, for example, a salicylic acid wash in the morning and then use a retinoid at nighttime. But if you have dry or sensitive skin, then I really want you to be careful when you're implementing all these active ingredients. Start with the retinoid, for example, and then slowly add other ones as you can tolerate them. So salicylic acid is a beta hydroxy acid, and it is also fat soluble. This means that it can cut through that sebum or through that oil to help exfoliate. But don't overdo the salicylic acid or really any exfoliating acid, because this can break down your skin barrier and can actually increase oil production if you overuse exfoliating acids. So that's why you really want to balance your acid use with moisturizer use so that you don't break down your skin barrier. Neutrogena and CeraVe make a 2% salicylic acid wash. I actually have one. I'm sure you guys have seen this everywhere. So this is a 2% salicylic acid wash, and salicylic acid is one of those ingredients that I don't mind if it's in a wash, because I think it's potent enough that if if you wash your skin with it and leave the product on for a few minutes before rinsing it off, it's actually going to help you. You can also try a leave-on salicylic acid, like Paula's Choice makes a 2% BHA liquid exfoliant, so does Naturium, and these are products that you can use maybe either once every few days or once a week if you're starting out, because these are leave-on salicylic acid products. You don't want to overuse them. Again, you don't want to break down your skin barrier. Benzoyl peroxide is another ingredient that we not only use for acne, but I also like it for sebaceous filaments. It also helps with refining your pore size. Over the counter, I recommend using under 5% benzoyl peroxide. Now, traditionally speaking, we are taught to not combine benzoyl peroxide with retinoids because we were taught that benzoyl peroxide deactivates the retinoid. I do think that these newer retinoid formulations are more stable and probably more resistant to breakdown, but regardless, if you're going to use both a benzoyl peroxide and a retinoid, use the benzoyl peroxide wash in the morning and use the retinoid at night. Panoxyl and CeraVe are both 4% benzoyl peroxide washes that are over the counter. The CeraVe acne foaming cleanser not only has the benzoyl peroxide, but it also has niacinamide to help with that oil production. I do think though niacinamide in a wash isn't as effective as niacinamide kind of as a leave-on product. So you can actually use niacinamide in sunscreen, like this Elta MD sunscreen. This is one of the best sunscreens that I recommend for acne-prone skin because it's oil-free, lightweight, and it contains niacinamide, so you get like a double whammy in one product. You can also use niacinamide just by itself. If you use niacinamide by itself, though, I recommend getting something that's under 5%. Naturium makes a 5% niacinamide gel for about $20. And Glow Recipe makes one of my favorite products. It's called like watermelon niacinamide dew drops, something like that. But that also contains hyaluronic acid, so it not only contains niacinamide, but also hyaluronic acid. So if you do use products like salicylic acid or benzoyl peroxide, you now have a hyaluronic acid to help retain some of that moisture. This is about $34, so I think it's a pretty good product for the price point. And I recommend using niacinamide in the morning because it's also an antioxidant, so it's going to help you fight against some of that UV sun damage. And speaking of UV damage, any sort of sun damage is going to make your pores look larger, so you really want to be careful and you really want to use good sun protection. So must wear sunscreen. The best sunscreen is really anything that you will actually use. So check out my previous video on the top 5 tinted sunscreens that I recommend. Some untinted ones include the Elta MD that I previously talked about, the Isden untinted sunscreen. So Isden comes in tinted and untinted, and I like both the formulations. La Roche-Posay also makes some really good sunscreens. One of my favorite ones that they make is the Double Repair UV30 moisturizer with sunscreen. The other La Roche-Posay sunscreen that I actually really like also is the Melted Milk sunscreen, which is about SPF 60. So I really like 60 over 30. So if you wanted to use all of these products to help combat your sebaceous filaments, how do you put them together? So this would be the regimen. You would do a benzoyl peroxide wash in the morning. So whenever you use a wash with an active ingredient, remember to leave it on your face for a few minutes before rinsing it off. And then use niacinamide, moisturizer, and sunscreen. Or you can use a moisturizer with niacinamide and sunscreen on top. So there's multiple combinations, but benzoyl peroxide, niacinamide, sunscreen. At nighttime, you can double cleanse with the second cleanser being salicylic acid, then use a retinoid and a moisturizer on top. Now, these are a lot of active ingredients in one regimen, so if you have very sensitive skin, remember to add one product at a time, get used to it before moving on to another one. So if you have oily and sensitive skin, what I recommend is first starting with benzoyl peroxide and niacinamide in the morning, get used to it, then add the retinoid, and then finally add salicylic acid once you're used to the products. And remember, no matter what, you should always be using a moisturizer and sunscreen. Even if you have oily skin, you should still be using a moisturizer. It does not make your skin oilier. And finally, don't spot treat. Use all of these products to the entire face, including your nose, of course. So finally, at nighttime, if you have oily skin and you wear makeup and use, tinted sunscreen like I do, you must double cleanse. So what is double cleansing, you ask? Well, my next video will be on double cleansing, so subscribe to my channel so that you can stay tuned for this upcoming video. All right, that sums it up, how to treat the black dots, also called sebaceous filaments, on your nose. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share with others who may have the same concern as you. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you can stay up to date with all the latest skincare videos that I produce. Thank you and have a wonderful day.